It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Monday, the 28th of August. I'm Michael Groff. Sort of figured we weren't done with the 110-degree temperatures just yet this summer, and indeed yesterday we had a high of 111 degrees after a morning low of 89. Yuck. Now today, the heat goes on, and so does a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Those will be with us each afternoon and evening. Temperatures gradually lowering as we go through the week. And of course, the tropics and the East Pacific getting active, as well as Harvey still on the board. Let's talk about it as we look outside this morning. Here at 6:05 a.m., we've got mostly clear skies in the valley right now and 90 degrees to start the day at Sky Harbor. Dew points at 54, humidity 30%. The winds are from the east at 10 miles per hour, and the barometer is steady. Temperatures out there this morning, low 80s to near 90. Here's the water vapor satellite view. High pressure north of the state, an easterly flow, some limited moisture coming in. But really the big story with this ridge is the heat. We have excessive heat warnings in Yuma and La Paz counties, as well as southern Nevada. Much of California in heat warnings, excessive heat warnings and heat advisories. And that extends into the Pacific Northwest as well. Dense fog advisories around Kansas City, northeastward through Iowa and Illinois. And tropical storm warnings, of course, they continue in southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. Flash flood warnings, flash flood emergencies for the Houston area. Needless to say, even though the heaviest rain has ended for now, more rain is expected. And a lot of those bayous and streams and rivers still have to be released. A lot of those reservoirs, the water still has to be released out of the dam system that they have there. So even after this rain event ends in the next few days, there is still going to be catastrophic and devastating flooding that continues there. As if that's not enough, we have another tropical storm warning, series of warnings and watches in effect through the mid-Atlantic coast, as Irma should be our next tropical system that we have to worry about out there. On the convective outlook, a slight risk of severe storms east of the circulation center of Tropical Storm Harvey, and that's going to include places like Beaumont, Port Arthur, and Lake Charles, Louisiana. A marginal risk surrounding that. The good news is that Houston will largely avoid the severe weather for today, at least it appears right now, and of course a marginal risk on the Carolina coast as well in association with a developing tropical system there. Here is Harvey spinning around and slowly moving off of the Gulf Coast. Now, the good news here, if there is good news to be had from this, is that the system has decoupled, and what that means is the upper level circulation has sort of drifted away from the surface low associated with Harvey. So it's not a very well-organized system, and the deepest convection is now well off to the east of the Houston area, so it's going to take some time over the Gulf waters, and unfortunately that's where this system is going to be for the next 24 hours or so, is over the Gulf before it starts to reorganize just a bit. I do believe the heaviest rain for the Houston area has ended, but that doesn't mean there won't be more heavy rain. But I mean, when I'm talking the heaviest rain has ended, I don't think they're going to get another 30 inches of rain, but still at least another 10 inches or so is possible, and certainly we'll look at some of the modeling and see what that has to say. Here's the latest advisory on Harvey from the National Hurricane Center. Maximum sustained winds 40 miles per hour. It is still considered a tropical storm at this time, and it is expected to drift out over the Gulf, and a small bit of intensification is expected as it does so. It's not going to become a hurricane once again, but it may become just a little bit better organized. But luckily, it's pretty disorganized this morning. Eventually, later this week, the forecast track does take it, the official track takes it off to the northeast to near Memphis by Saturday morning. But we're still going to be talking about this system through the entire week. Here's the models on this, the GFS ensemble on the right, the tropical models on the left. The general consensus is that the system will be moving to the north and east. You do see some of these models loop it back around again. A few models take it to the west. There's even one model that tracks it near the Arizona-Mexico border with time. That doesn't seem very realistic. Here's the raw QPF data, how much more rain will fall. According to the GFS, this is the latest GFS, it's still got rainfall in excess of 25 inches in some spots west of Houston. I'm pretty sure that we're not going to see this kind of rain in Houston now. I don't think we're going to see another 20 inches of rain. I hope not. Let's put it that way after all the devastating flooding that we've seen. However, certainly there will be more heavy rain to be had. 5 to 10 more inches, maybe more. and the flooding situation is not over, and the problems are just beginning. All right, let's talk about our weather in more detail, and we'll get into that now as we check the models. Here's the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. High pressure north of the state, easterly flow, limited moisture moving around that. There's a little short wave that rotates through here and kind of puts a backdoor cool front into the area. And there's a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms once again this afternoon. It'll be very similar to what we've experienced the last couple of days. Some of these storms will put out some gusty winds. Maybe one or two spots see some rain, but most of us don't. We'll call for a 1 in 10 chance of rain. Otherwise, partly sunny skies today. High temperatures 106 to 110. Tonight, slight chance of an evening shower or thunderstorm. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Lows, low 80s to near 90. Tomorrow, again, partly cloudy skies, a slight chance of a late afternoon shower or thunderstorm, highs 105 to 109. Really the same thing on Wednesday as you continue to see Harvey along the Texas coast. And the thing about Harvey there is that it's putting it down some, on the back side, the west side of the system, it's pulling down some drier continental air, and that's getting caught up in our Great Basin high. So there's not as much moisture to be advected into the southwest as there ordinarily would be in this kind of a setup. So very limited moisture and only a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. So we go to Thursday, down there south of the Baja, approaching Cabo San Lucas, another tropical system is there, and that's something that we'll have to watch for an injection of moisture into the southwest come the Labor Day weekend. For now, still a slight chance of a late afternoon shower or storm, but keep in mind, it's a very low chance that anybody sees rain each afternoon. The more likely event will just be some gusty winds. High temperatures backing off to around 104 to 108. Here is Friday, and we see this system now near Cabo San Lucas, maybe a little bit west or northwest of there. A tropical storm, maybe a hurricane at this point. And some moisture would get pulled in here ultimately, but still with the ridge to our north, I don't think a whole lot of moisture comes in. Maybe just a Gulf surge, some low-level moisture added in for a continued slight chance of showers and storms. Saturday, the system continues to move northwestward up the Baja coast, and again a slight chance of showers and storms, highs 104 to 108. Here's what happens on Sunday. The system pushes away and moves to the west as high pressure continues to sit over the Great Basin, and that system kind of runs into it. It's like a wall. It just runs in there and sort of bounces off and moves to the west. And so I don't think this system is going to directly impact us, but there will be some moisture that's inserted into the southwest. At least that's what it appears at this time, for a continued slight chance of showers and storms each afternoon and evening. Highs still around 103 to 107. Here's a week from today, Labor Day, Monday, September 4th. That's a pretty strong ridge, 597 ridge north of the state. The heat's on, and still a slight chance of showers and storms with a continued easterly flow. I think a little bit more moisture might start to get pulled in here, but that's still a strong ridge. High temperatures above normal will be in the 103 to 108 range. Really about the same thing on Tuesday, September the 5th. And here's the end of the forecast period, Wednesday, the 6th of September. High pressure still to the north. Maybe some disturbances or an inverted trough rotates around that for a slight chance of late afternoon and evening showers and storms. The weather pattern overall is not going to change for us, noticeably at least, over the next 10 days. We're going to have highs every afternoon, 103 to 108, and those very slight chances of storms. Better chances of rain and thunderstorms will be over the mountains, especially north and east of Phoenix. Temperatures through the period coming off of the GFS ensemble, yeah, we're going to be above normal all the way out through much of the week. There are indications that we cool off just a bit for the Labor Day weekend, but temperatures to remain at or above normal levels through the next 10 to 15 days at least. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. Our next video comes back here tomorrow morning. Thanks as always so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Be safe, stay cool out there. Have a great Monday.